Hey there, in this edition of 316 Unfiltered with John and Nick, we're going to be looking at Let the Redeemed of the Lord Say So. We're going to be reading and thinking about and discussing the importance and necessity of the Christian life to share the good news. It isn't just for you, it's for you to have and to share. And if you count yourself as one of the redeemed of the Lord, you got to tell others, you got to say so. So there's a verse in the Bible and it says, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. It says it just here in Psalm 107 verse 2. Verse 1 says, oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. And it goes on, it says other stuff. But there's a principle that if you become a Christian, if you're redeemed, if you're bought back by God to himself, that you got to talk about it. You don't keep it to yourself. So why have you kept it to yourself, Nick?
Wow, brutal!
Why do we find it hard to talk?
I know. This is definitely something which has been playing on me at the minute. Okay, so obviously I've got a new job.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm meeting new people, and there's always that bit like, do you want people to like you if I say the wrong thing? And I kind of got stuck back into that routine of like, I'm not really sure where I want people to like me or not. But I've got a witness to them. Do you know
I
what
want
mean?
them to hate me.
I've got a witness to them at the end of the day because, you know, I've got to be a shining light in the darkness, in the dark places or whatever. So if I can show a tiny bit of Jesus to them, then I'm all good for that. So yeah, I kept getting these verses, you know, constant thinking about you've got to talk. And I kept putting it off. And like you say, you just think, oh, the next day or the next opportunity. But then there is something about waiting for the right opportunity. I get that. But if you're going to wait, it might never come. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's good to wait on what the Lord says. And if he's telling me I've got to talk, I've got to talk.
It doesn't say let the redeemed of the Lord say so when they fancy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let the redeemed of the Lord say so on Friday afternoons.
Because you never know when you might, you know, something might happen.
You know, how would you feel that your colleague, they go up to the office and they're fired and they're gone? Yeah. That's it, never see them again.
Exactly.
How many people have you known through your life well and then you've never seen them again?
Exactly.
Loads of people. I often think of work colleagues that I never told anything about.
Yeah.
I remember starting this new job in 1992 and I hadn't really told anyone anything, really.
Yeah.
That's not quite true, but basically I hadn't. And things happened in the late 80s and early 90s that made me go, okay, it's all real, it's all true. And I became serious. I started this new job and I told a couple of people I'm going to go in with all guns blazing. So I started the new job. I was there for 9 months. I had no idea how long I was going to be there for. Bath cabinet makers making furniture, and I was going to go in with all guns blazing. I went in there, not in a nasty way, but I told everyone. It was wonderful. Most people warned me off. They said, no, you got to be careful, I was like, you know, you get yourself in trouble. And I didn't get in any trouble.
And that's what I think. I think we think too much in our heads that this is what's going to happen. But out of the times where I've just, like I say, jumped out of my comfort zone and let into faith, and you have them chats, those chats are pretty awesome. They're pretty good.
I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
They never speak to you again.
Well,
I'm all right with that.
They could pull out an axe. That could be pretty bad. I mean, you can run faster, so make sure you do it with someone who's a slower runner.
My running days are long gone.
Oh, do you? Oh,
my hair ran away from my head.
That's how close they got with the axe. But just taking the opportunity. So we went out for some food this morning, and normally, you know, hand out our little coasters and things like this and stuff. And I'm pretty sure I'd given one of these before to this girl. And I just couldn't do it again, or I couldn't make sure. I was just tired, and not a great excuse at all. And we left. I said, oh, Head, maybe you ought to go back. And he said, oh, I think it's too late now. And we will go back there again. But, And then she went into the next shop and she picked up some bread, and she gave a coast to them, had a little chat with them, and that was good. It's really easy to miss opportunities.
Yeah. And do you know what? When I had that moment, when I spoke, I remember like having a big prayer under my breath, like just let there be an opportunity for me to, not so jump in, but like, cause an interest. And it did. And do you know what? There's an opportunity. It opened up. They started talking to me. I found out one of them was, he believed. Well, he's getting older now, so he said he's starting to believe. And I was just like, this is an amazing opportunity. Praising God. Do you know what I mean? So,
without going into the details, how did you start the conversation? What?
I started off by talking about tattoos. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. Go on, Henry.
And then it started off by
I'll
saying,
pretend I'm the guy or the girl. Okay.
have you got any tattoos or
what?
certain tattoos? And then that kind of died down. And then I was like, then I just said,
did you plan this?
I did.
I'm gonna start with tattoos.
I did, yeah.
Okay, right, yeah.
And then it kind of fizzled out a bit, and I thought, okay, that's gone down now.
Yeah.
And then I just
pulled out your next card.
And then I just
done
said,
tattoos, fishing.
then I went down the religion route, and I said, okay, I'm a Christian. Like, many people don't believe what I believe, and they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, here we go.
Oh, nice.
So
that is great. Do you think you feel you sparked curiosity?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made the other two start up and
So there are others listening in.
Yeah, there was 3 of them altogether.
I like the listeners in are my favourites, because sometimes you're having a chat with someone and it's maybe not going that great, but there are other people listening in.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you also think it's not going that great, it's actually going really
Pretty well, yeah.
And you just can't tell. You're just thinking, oh man, I really wish I knew scriptures better, or I wish I knew the stories better. I wish I knew what I was talking about a bit more. I'm feeling all nervous. I'm really shy. I don't know what I've just said. And you can be assured that God's got it.
Yeah.
And He knows how to make your pitiful little words really good.
Have impact as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
Have you ever chatted to someone and you thought,
this is going nowhere?
Yeah, this is going
Absolutely.
nowhere. Yeah, tell us about that.
That
sort of thing.
I won't say who it is, but I try to talk to them and they shut me down. I don't want to know, don't care, don't believe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah. No, it's difficult when we're shut down. I'm trying to find ways to keep the conversation going. I remember with one person once kind of going down the line of when they said, no, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. So I had no idea you were so sensitive about that. So I really backtracked. They said, no, I don't mind. I said, I didn't realise you were kind of closed-minded to these things. And they said, well, no, I'm not closed-minded. I'm really open to everything, because people don't want to be called closed-minded. And then they started talking about stuff. Yeah. And I said, I don't mean to offend anyone, I'm just curious about what you believe about stuff. Sometimes people take a bit of warming up.
Yeah. It's like the clay, isn't it? You got to warm the clay up first before you start moulding.
You have. And then it can be shaped into something that is of use.
But I just like throwing seeds out.
Yeah.
And our job is just to let them know.
Yeah.
And then his job is to do the rest.
Yeah. Well, and he knows what he's doing with
exactly.
it.
And he's going to be the one that takes the glory, not us.
Why do you think the redeemed, if we're redeemed, which means that we're saved at huge cost, we need to be told to speak it out?
Why do we need to? Because why would we keep something like that? Well, why would we keep it?
How many churchgoers do you know that you think probably don't tell anyone? And they say, well, fear. They want their actions to speak. What about that argument? I want my actions to speak.
Well, that's doing good works, isn't it? That's not going to get you anywhere. Although a little bit, it will. But I mean,
so I say about a workplace, well, I never swear. Everyone else swears. Well, they might notice that you don't swear, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I had that once, and then the guys, I remember I hit my thumb with a hammer or something like that, and I went, ouch, and he went, ouch, because it was a real whack. He said, you don't want to say ouch, you better say this word when that thing happens. and they tried to teach
Ouch.
me.
Did you really?
Spelled differently.
Yeah, yeah.
With different letters.
Yeah.
And
So British.
yeah, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I've
Yeah.
never really sworn. I've always felt, I don't know, for whatever reason, just never really sworn. I've said some things I wish I hadn't said, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's not been part of my makeup really. But
Do you think it's to do with faith that people don't do it? Because I think about this like faith without works is dead, right?
okay,
So maybe they just maybe they've seen too many movies and they think it's going to be this glorious thing, but it's
what do you mean? So like, explain more.
so. What I mean, like stepping out in faith, I mean like just get out there.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Get out of your comfort zone, get out of your head. Trust that the Lord has got
Yeah.
this.
it's not that hard.
No, but we make it hard.
Well, so look, here you go. When we're younger, often for guys to talk to girls is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh no, look at them over there, they look so pretty. But how am I meant to talk to them? It's like, and they're going, oh, look at them, they're so handsome. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at his muscles. I presume that's what girls say. I don't know. And we're going, yeah, look at his muscles. But we can't talk because we're shy and we're embarrassed. And no, she looked at me. And you're going, yes, but I mustn't look at her again. I know, it's terrible. So many missed opportunities. We're shy about it. Now, it's probably, for me, I think probably it was a good thing that I was relatively shy when I was a kid, because I think I would have been off all over the place. So it kind of kept me from getting into too much trouble. But we, as Christians, sharing the gospel, I do feel inhibited and shy and awkward quite often. I mean, I often wear t-shirts with scripture, and I got the one moment which is I've decided to follow Jesus. But it's sometimes I find it, oh no, look, I'm wearing this in the middle of the high street. Oh, I feel awkward. I'm thinking, why? Hang on a minute, this is all right. And I'm noticing people watching. I'll tell you what I do is I put my dark sunglasses on and I feel safe. Because I haven't got to make the eye contact.
Like the invisible thing.
Well, and I think for me it helps, and I'll wear Jesus is Lord t-shirt or some of this, and I'm walking down the high street, and you don't often see people doing that, and I count each look towards it as a quid.
Hey,
£1.
I'm banking that.
£1, one spiritual pound down there, and sometimes people. I mean, I can't talk to everyone, but you can wear a t-shirt. Maybe even this Charlie Kirk one has had some effect with some people because it opens up a different sort of kind of Christian political conversation. But be visually a Christian, but be verbally a Christian.
Yeah.
Live out the Christian life, but you have, Jesus did speak. If he didn't, if he didn't say anything, and he said, if it was just people wrote, well, he was very kind.
Yeah. There are lots of kind people.
Yeah, his words got him in trouble.
Yeah,
and changed lives.
exactly.
They either loved his words or hated him because
Words
of his
of life,
words.
isn't it?
But they were, and the way, the truth, and the life. So being bold about it and sharing, but being sensitive and praying a lot. When you're talking to someone, praying, Lord, please help me in this conversation because I feel I'm losing my way.
And gradually, you feel a little bit more confident.